I'm completely broken. I spent 2 years building up my company from scratch and just taking the time to put money into it. I run a video production company, so I bought cameras, I bought equipment. It's not cheap, and I put all my life savings into it, and it's just been taken away from me. Like, I need to film, and all the events that I would go and film are just shut, so I can't go and film them, and I've just completely been forgotten about, abandoned, excluded, and there's a smug old Rishi kind of going around saying how good a job he's done, but he's forgotten millions. There's millions of us that have forgotten. I'm devastated by it. I just don't know what to do.
When did you realise that you were going to get, so little? I don't know what you did. Did you get nothing at all?
Nothing, not a penny.
Since the end of February, effectively, middle of March, you've had literally...
So I had lots of work lined up for this year,
yes,
and then
course.
5 days before lockdown, phone call after phone call, and probably saw about 50 grand worth of work just going in an hour. It was devastating. 2 years of building a business, and it felt like it was going somewhere. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's just gone. And
you haven't had one pence?
No, like, I can't furlough myself because I've still got to send emails, and if I send emails whilst I'm on furlough, then I'm breaking the law. Any marketing activity to do with your business is breaking the law with furlough. And there was still some work coming in, very small little jobs, £100 here, £100 there, just small logo animations. I can't get a grant because I don't have a premises with a rateable value.
Yeah.
I moved out of a place that I was paying rent.
Yeah.
At the wrong time because my wife was getting made redundant in March, and she's going to use that redundancy money to build her own business.
Right.
So we decided together to, for me to work from home for a month, just so I could save up enough money to move into a premises. And if I had been in a premises a month earlier, I would have got 10 grand, but I can't get that. I can't get universal credit because where my wife got a redundancy payment, it takes her over the universal credit threshold. Yeah. But that money's isn't our savings. It's our money for her to start a business and her future life.
To replace her income for the period it takes her to get back in the saddle.
So I've got nothing, not a penny, and just been burned. And it's great. I really appreciate that other people have been helped, and I think that's really important because it's great that they have. And some of the people that I employ as self-employed freelancers for work and jobs, they're getting good money out of it. I mean, maybe not as much as they used to be on, but...
No, but they're keeping their ship afloat.
And then I know that I paid into their profit margins so that their payment level was higher, but I'm not getting a penny of that. And I was, meant to be employing this year. I was meant to be bringing on staff, and that's all had to go. I've helped, as a video company, I've helped several companies in the local area grow their profits so they can have a premises where they get 10,000 or 25,000 in some cases, and it's hard to watch and hard to take in.
I mean, you've been hit from several angles, haven't you? Some of it just really bad luck, and some of it government policy.
I think so. That the timing of it is bad, but I think even if he had said, limited company directors who are a one-man employee are allowed to furlough themselves and carry on working, like the self-employed were allowed to do. Yeah. Self-employed are allowed to carry on working.
Could you have broken the rule? I mean, this is just me thinking, and I'm not suggesting you should have done, but if you could have applied for furloughing.
I could have done, but that
would have meant you couldn't do anything to keep your business afloat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, I've heard this a lot, and there's my cynical side, which is a description of a theoretical me, would be like, well, couldn't I have pulled the wool over their eyes? Couldn't I have actually furloughed while... And I know I asked you this question the day after there's a £500,000 fraud case that was announced yesterday in Birmingham where someone is suspected of having used the furlough scheme to line their own pockets. So I know there would be some due diligence
maybe
done.
Some people would do it, but I wouldn't.
No, I know, mate. That's the point. That's the point I'm making, is that by playing by the rules and by being a good, upstanding citizen, you make your plight worse.
Yeah, probably. And I think that's the sickening thing, is that we keep getting labelled by him, by Rishi, saying, the reason they can't design a scheme for us is because it's liable to fraud. But actually, I've been so compliant.
I know, and you're the second caller to use that.
If I hadn't been compliant,
argument, you would have got money. So
and the reason why I pay myself PAYE is because for the last 2 years, it's not to tax avoid. No. It's because I don't know how much money is going to be in the industry at any one time.
But you don't even avoid tax. A lot of people still labouring under this illusion. As I understand it, you pay corporation tax while it's in the business, and then you pay a dividend tax. And when you add those two together, it's as near as, damn it, to what you'd be paying in income tax on income anyway.
It's about 27% tax I pay instead of 28%. Yeah. And that 1% is covered by my accountancy fees, which is about $1,500 a year.
It's all there, mate. I do, and I think that those parallels hold true as you move up and down the income ladder as well. Dave, I hope things get better for you, mate, and I'm so sorry for what you're going through.
I mean, I've had low periods in my life. I'm not afraid to talk about mental health, but this has ruined me. There's been moments that I've been like seconds away from doing something stupid.
Oh, Dave.
And, this could be avoided with just basic income for everyone.
Yes.
He mocks it. And, yesterday on BBC News, he was asked a question very seriously about suicide and how it's affecting people. And he turned around and said, I can't hear you because he's in a noisy factory. He heard the rest of the interview. He's an embarrassment of a chancellor. And, whilst I really respect what he's done for so many other people, he really needs to step into other people's shoes and have some empathy and just understand how much hurt and devastation he's causing.
Right, I'm going to tell you something to you that may not be correct, all right? And I want you to forgive me in advance if I speak inappropriately.
Yeah.
But when you contemplate what you've just described as doing something silly, please think about the hurt and misery that would cause, Dave, to the people that you love most in the world.
That's one thing about why I don't do it. It would hurt too many.
Not just hurt them, mate. It would turn them upside down forever. So you can't go there.
I know. Every time I think like that, I have a fantastic wife who pulls me back.
Exactly.
And, a fantastic family and friends as well.
And you will get back on your feet. It doesn't feel like it now, and goodness knows what your feet are going to look like when you get back on them, Dave, but you will.
Yeah, I hope so, because, this is my life. I don't know anything else apart from filming. I've worked in the industry all my life.
Yeah. You look after yourself properly.
Cheers.
No, I mean it properly, all right?
Thanks.
God bless you.
Bye.
Cheers, Dave. We'll just check on Dave, will you, please? And I would remind you that if you've been affected by any of the issues that Dave and I touched upon there, then the Samaritans are open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and you can contact them in a variety of ways, including by phone on 116123. You'll understand why I dropped the plan to play you the clip of Michael Holding talking about racism, the West Indies cricket legend. So I'll do that on Monday, although in the interim I would urge you to dig it out yourselves and have a listen. And I'm not going to take any more calls after that because, well, for two reasons. Number one, there's very little time left in the programme. And number two, I want to leave Dave's call ringing in your ears. Okay, it's amazing how quickly they get onto me when they want me to issue a correction or a clarification, this government. Often for things that don't, in the long run, turn out to be wrong, Still waiting for Matt Hancock to correct the claim that there'd been an outbreak of coronavirus in Keighley. So they'll have heard that. I don't know yesterday whether or not Rishi Sunak was pulling your chain when he claimed he couldn't hear Nagaman Chetty's question about somebody in a situation almost identical to Dave's live on television yesterday. But they will hear this, and you then need to ask yourself how much they care. Because it's Dave today. Just by dumb luck, the fickle finger of fate ended up pointed at him. The point about politics is it could have been you.